Welcome to WGTV, and episode 56. I'm your host, Adam, and tonight I'm joined by the terrible twosome. I've got Bish with his Stormcast, and I've also got Adam with his Deepkin. And we're going to be bringing you a game of Age of Sigmar, 2,000 points from the General's Handbook 23 through to 24. But without any further ado, I do like to say a huge thank you to all our patrons, all our sponsors, affiliates. You'll have seen the names on the way in, on the intro. Without you, we are nothing. I have two of my patrons here. I've got Adam and Bish. They've signed up. Thank you guys. I mean, it's a big appreciation from me. It gives us a chance to add so much more to the channel and bring you so much more content. But without any further ado, so Bish, are we feeling confident about the Stormcast against the Deepkin?
I think so. The dragons are definitely ready for their fish supper.
Oh, so Adam, how do we feel about that? Fish supper?
I feel as though Bish might be sleeping with the fishes tonight.
Oh, very good. There's some more dad jokes any week you like. But before we find out who's going to be the supper, we're going to have to find out which scenario we're going to be playing. Now, there's only one person that can help us out with that. Some say that when he falls asleep, he holds a staff. But it's the pillow that could kill you. All we know is he's called the cleric.
Lines of communication cut off from civilization. Communication has never been more important. To win this battle, you must use your isolation against your foe and force them to break in confusion. Disruption. The start of each battle round, after determining which player will take the first turn. The player taking the second turn can pick a phase to disrupt. During that battle round, each time a model in their opponent's army issues a command in that phase, their opponent must roll a dice. On a 3+, an additional command point must be spent in order to issue that command. The opponent can choose whether or not to spend that additional command point. If they choose not to spend the additional command point, that command is not received, and it counts as being used. And the command point that was spent to issue it is lost. To score in this mission, you score 1 point for one objective, another for 2, and a third for more, and 2 points for your battle tactic.
Thank you, mysterious one. So what do we think about that, boys? We fully explained? Ready? Right then. I think then it's time to have a quick look at the armies.
Welcome to the Kingdom of Atlantis. The Idoneth are back, and we are going to zoom in and tell you about them. So we'll start over here on the right with my general, Naughty Cal, who is an Eidolon aspect of the sea. He is, as I say, my general. He's a wizard. He's got Endless Sea Storm, and his spell is Steed of Tides for teleporting shenanigans. He is backed up by 2 aspects of the storm. So we have one here, Naughty Lars, and then we have Sharky over here, both aspects of the storm. No artifacts or anything on them. They are just as is on the War Scroll. My other 2 heroes down here, we've got Tired Al, who is the Tidecaster, and then with Sharky, of course, you have to have George. So the Crime Busters of the Sea are here in force. In terms of battle line, we have 3 battle line. We've got some Thralls, the Urchins, and then we have a unit of Reavers here, the Stingrays, and then another unit of Reavers here, the Blowfish. So, you know, all themey, all good. And finally, the list is rounded out by a Leviathan, Donatello, who is ancient, so he gets to ignore -1 rend. And then, of course, we've got the Gloomtide Shipwreck in behind there. The only other thing to tell you about is that George has an artefact called Brain Barnacles. So if he is within 12 inches of an enemy hero, he can roll 2 dice, and if he beats the distance between them, then that enemy hero is -1 to hit and wound for the rest of the game. So there we go. It's a little bit Eidolon heavy, but we put the turtle into the list this time for a bit of extra monstery action, and that is a list that is 1970.
So here we have Sigmar's Chosen, my Knights Excelsiors. With the General, the Lord-Imperatant with his puppy. He has the artefact Mirrorshield, so he cannot be targeted for shooting attacks outside of 12 inches, and the command trait Shock and Awe. So if at the end of the movement phase, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target friendly Scions of the Storm units that were set up this phase. Next to him is his lovely lady, the Knight Arcanum. She has the spell Celestial Blades, where we can add 1 to the wound rolls made for attacks by melee weapons for 1 unit within the army. She also has the ability that an endless spell cannot pass within 3 inches of her. At the back, we have the big boy himself, Karazai. He is the Smash Dragon. When he kills a unit, depending on the wounds of the unit, he will either heal or start to gain more attacks. Defending him is a unit of 6 Praetors. Whenever Karazai takes a wound, you roll a dice. On a 1-2, Karazai takes the wound. On a 3-4, the Praetors take the wound, and on a 5-6, the wound is ignored. Next to them at the back, we have the other dragons of the army, a set of Stormdrake Guard armed with Drake Rider Lances. And then we get to the fun, the battle line of the unit. The big unit of 6 Annihilators. These are all set up with just the standard hammer and shields, giving them a 2-up save and 3 wounds apiece, making them incredibly hard to shift. And then the 2 sets of 3 Annihilators with Grand Hammers. Smash Hammers as we like to know them. These boys like to drop in from the sky and deal some serious punch. And that rounds off my 1940 points of Stormcast. We're going to let the Deepkin flop on the sand and let them go first.
Splish splash, I was having a bath, and then I had turn 1. So, Deepkin turn 1 was a very simple turn, to be fair. I went for the battle tactic of magical dominance, because that's what you do in Age of Sigmar now. And that was mainly because I was more than 30 inches away from Bish's only wizard, so it seemed like a fairly standard one to do. So Naughty Cal here stepped up. He said, I'm going to cast a Mystic Shield and put a Mystic Shield over here on the Eidolon of the Storm there. And he thought, well, I've got a bonus spell, so I might as well cast an Arcane Bolt. So he did that. And then he thought, well, you know what? Since I'm in the mood, I'm going to Steed of Tide Sharky all the way over here to put him on an objective. And then he'd run out of spells to cast, even though he could have cast more if he wanted to. but nothing was in range, so I threw the baton over to the Tidecaster here, Tired Al, and he said, right, well, I'm going to put Hoarfrost on those thralls. No, I'm not. In hindsight, possibly could have used a primal dice for it, but I might save that for Bish's turn because I'm now in range of him. Other than that, everything just sort of moved up onto objectives, so I've taken the 2 side ones. There's a whole bunch of stuff in the middle here waiting to react to whatever the Stormcast do to kill me. So we'll go into Stormcast turn 1. 5 points from that turn for getting the battle tactic, holding 1, 2 and more.
So Stormcast turn 1. We went for magical dominance as well. We played the risk. The Deepkin were in range to dispel, and so out of a 4d6 cast we got a 13 and it got dispelled on a 15, so that went out the window. So the magical phase, the command phase, didn't go to plan, so we thought we'll just come and do some smashing. So we had a nice little movement phase. We moved up, dropped in some annihilators. It's all going to plan. Did a little bit of shooting. And then we thought we'll do some charges. So the Annihilators tried. They rolled a 4. So they thought they'd try again. They rolled a 5. So then the Dragons thought, it's all right, lads, we'll cover this for you. They rolled a 4. And then they rolled a 6. So these lads we're just going to sit there. So Karazai thought, right, I better do it for the boys then. And then he rolled a 9, but he needed a 10. So at that point we just sat it there and we scored 3 for scoring more. And that was it, 1, 2 more. And the dice are cursed. I got cursed by the Deepkin.
I mean, you did put 4 wounds on Sharky after rolling 2 6s with the dragons.
That was true. The dragon's breath did go off quite rather well. But
we have a little roll off.
We have a little roll off.
Come on, Wargo TV.
Ooh, tie.
I keep doing this. I keep drawing when I've gone first, so I'd better go first again, hadn't I? Whoosh into turn 2 with the run and charge for the Idoneth Deepkin. And we started out with great promise and great endeavour with a battle tactic of intimidate invaders. So we had to advance, get out of our deployment zone and bring the fight to the dirty Stormcast. We started with some spells again, so we got a Mystic Shield off on this little Eidolon. I tried to cast Cloying Sea Mist but couldn't heal Sharky with it. I think Bish dispelled it, and I think again we were kind of out of spells then, and we also didn't get Hoarfrost off again over with the Tidecaster. So into movement, moved everything up to try and shoot at Mr. Griffhound Man, and having done all of that movement, Bish kindly informed me that he has Mirrorshield and I can't shoot him anyway. Couldn't shoot with the turtle because he ran, because run and charge, wanted to charge over into this little pocket of stuff over here. But we got kind of intimidate by that point, so everything had moved up. And then the handbag started because we charged the, what was this little unit called?
3 Annihilators with Grand Hammers.
3 Annihilators with Grand Hammers, that's what we charged into. And I am sorry to tell you, dear viewers, that this episode of Sesame Street was brought to you by the number 1 and the word whiff. Learn the word whiff, children. Look it up. Use it more often in conversation. It took everything that you see here to get rid of those 3 models. Sharky was able to pile into the dragons, at which point he did no wounds at all. And then the dragons tried to hit him back and did no wounds at all. So from a sum total of a turn where the Deepkin could run and charge, 9 wounds were done in total. 9. So I suppose this turn was also brought to you by the number 9. However, I'm on 10 points, so I suppose I've beaten the spread in that respect.
So, round 2 for the Stormcast. We went in for destruction. Karazai here had to go kill a unit with 10 or more models. So we went in, as you can see currently, nothing near him. So it's looking good for us viewers. So starting off in the command phase, we managed to get a CP, heroic action, and then our lovely lady wizard, she managed to get her celestial blades off and put it onto my annihilators. And then we managed to shimmy up the board a little bit. We had some grand hammers dropping in over here, and they did their little bit of work. Everyone started moving where they needed to be. The 2 Stormdrake managed to shoot off Sharky. No one else did too much with their shooting, a little bit of damage here and there. And then we went into the charges, and they've come in good. The Annihilators with Grand Hammers got a 12. So they went straight across and hit into the General. The Dragons, they went and got a 10. And then Karazai went and did his bit. He got a 9. And even these Annihilators in the middle, they also got a 7. So everything went in. We played big. The Grand Hammers then hit into the General. Couldn't quite do enough to kill it. So then we moved over. We took a little bit of damage in the middle. Then the 2 Stormdrake managed to finish off the General. And then from there, we just worked our way across the board. We rolled well. Karazai managed to kill all 10 of the Thralls, getting out of our battle tactic. And we finished the turn with killing a Sharky, the General, and a full unit of 10 Thralls, putting us on the battle tactic and holding every objective.
11 wounds on a turtle as well.
And 11 wounds on a turtle as well. So we're playing for the double here, and we'll see how we go.
WGTV! Oh, but look at that. That's a
We'll take the double.
You don't want to give YouTube a very long game then?
No, I think we're going to go with it anyway. So, Stormcast turn 3, we got the double. We took Intimidate the Invaders because we were already there, we were going for it. Couldn't really do too much, lots of things in combat already. So, the dragon managed to shout and breath off the little hero so he could do a nice charge. Apart from that, that was about it. And then we went into combat. And because it's the fish's turn 3, they all fight first. So they killed me at dragon, they killed all my annihilators in the middle, they tried hitting my dragon but they did nothing to Karazai, he just whiffed it off, he's fine with that.
I think you'll find one of the Reavers did a wound to him.
A single wound, which he did heal back. And then Karazai managed to kill the little hero and he killed 15 Reavers.
Well, 17.
17.
There's only 3 left.
So yeah, we're pretty happy with the turn. There's only 5 fishes left, so it's we'll see how it goes.
Couple of big ones though.
Couple of big ones. 13, so still suffering that loss from turn 1, but we're doing okay for turn 3.
It turns out that Bish is being quite shellfish. You can have that on YouTube. So yes, turn 3 for the Idoneth, and we didn't have a lot left to do because we only had 5 models on the table and 3 of them were Reavers. So we weighed up the battle tactics and I thought, you know what, 5 models on the table, let's just kill 2 units because, assassins are the high tide. We'll just kill 2 units. It'll be fine. We've got an Eidolon, we've got a Turtle, we've got some plucky Reavers. So it's high tide. It's where the Idoneth shine. We didn't really have a command phase because there's no wizards left. We didn't really have a movement phase because everything was in combat. Although the Reavers retreated, and to be fair, the Eidolon retreated because he can retreat and charge. But that was it for that. Turtle shot some of the Praetors, and then we charged in with Naughty Lars back into the dragon. And as you can see, we are a dragon down. So Naughty Lars did his job. Slayer of dragons. Donatello, the turtle. There's a turtle-shaped hole there, you might be able to see. But he then piled in and tried to finish off the Praetors, having shot them. And we came so close. We came so close, dear viewers. The turtle does D6 when he stomps, D6 wounds. So I stomped and rolled a 1. So there's that 1 again. Then we did all our attacks with all-out attack and reduced the unit down to 1 model left. With the final attack through with the Crushing Jaws, I got 2 through, and Bish needed 5s to save, and he saved 1 of them, which stopped the last Praetor leaving this mortal plane. And that last Praetor decided that he was going to slap a turtle, didn't he? So bye-bye Donatello, and I'm down to 4 models now. But we didn't score any points, so that's fun as well. And now we're going to roll off to see if Bish can win the turn again. I'm going to go Black Wargore TV this time. Oh, no. 1 again. 1 again. It's just how it goes, I suppose.
I think I'll put him out of his misery and take the turn. Turn 4 for the Stormcast. Only the 4 fishes to kill. Well, as soon as we started the turn, someone would like to rally back 3 more of them. So there was more fish for dinner. My Annihilators came across, they managed to do the charge, they did their impact hits, they did enough damage, killed the Eidolon? Eidolon.
Aspect of the storm.
Aspect of the storm. And then Karazai went and finished off his din-dins. Stood next to the ship to deny the grand strategy. And then we failed Maelstrom, but we did get, in turn 5, the 3 board edges. Putting us on a final score of 24-10.
Conclusion time! So, turns out it was a bit of a fish supper for the old Stormcast. So, Bish, there was a Stormcast of the match?
Ooh, it's a big question. I think it might have to just be the Annihilators. They came in and they did a lot of damage to that turtle.
Turn 1 they didn't.
No, turn 1 nothing did anything.
Turn 1 it was a bit whiffy.
But once the little lads got in there with their shields, they didn't take any damage, and they dealt out 11 into that turtle and did what they needed to do and pinned him in.
Yeah.
Karazai does what he does and had lots of fish for dinner.
He did. He was a bit of, pardon the pun, he was a bit of a beast, really, wasn't he?
He was a bit.
Like he did when he got in. Did we have before they all went home, before the tide washed away, before they were all left on the shores to leave their eggs, was there a fish of the match?
There was,
right.
Actually. The Eidolon of the Storm, who I call Naughty Lars, who is not the sharky one, the other one, the actual one, he seemed to be the only one that was up for the fight, really.
Right.
So he came around, he killed the dragons. I think he did most of the damage to those hammery guys.
To the Grand Hammers, yeah.
Yeah, he was retreating and charging. He was... technically, he was one of the last ones to die. So, yeah, it'd be him, really.
Be him?
Yeah.
Be him, that'd be it. Did we learn anything from the scenario? Did, lines of communication, did it get interrupted much,
No.
Apart from being smashed to pieces.
It didn't.
No.
No.
It was definitely a battle tactic that benefited the Storm.
The Stormcast.
It definitely benefited the
Rather than the
Stormcast.
storm of the...
It definitely benefited the Stormcast, not just the Storm.
Oh, right. Okay.
I think, my army is built as one that will defend home objectives reasonably well, but anything that I have to go into the middle for...
bit dicey. And we don't like it.
And there were
Not
3 in the middle, so...
Always tough.
Always tough.
Always tough.
We did what we
And then the
could.
priority went against you as well.
It did. I mean, not at first, but then, that double turn was just... It was just like falling off a cliff.
Yeah. That's it. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed that one. I know, well, one of these has. And definitely look at the big beaming smile, like he's gleaming armour of the Knights Excelsior.
You've got to be nice to them on their channel,
I
debut.
know there's no debut. You've got to keep them going. Next time you can beat them. It's fine. But yes, if you do like this one, by all means, feel free to like, subscribe, or comment. Please do comment. Let's see what other armies that you want to see on the channel. We have a plethora of them, so that's we are very honoured to have so many options that we can choose from, or what scenario they want to play. But until then, I think it's best that we just say until next time.
Bye.